Now try to like see if you can like be able to like solve this integral. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take you through the identities. Sine A plus B, this is the same as sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. That's the identity for sine A plus B. And sine A minus B, this is the same as sine A cos B minus sine B cos A. So now, since we know these two formulae here for sine, if we like take the difference, let's just say we add them. If we add the two formulae, then you'll have sine A plus B plus sine A minus B. We're just adding. I'm just adding these two. But now, if you're adding on the left, you must also be able to. We must also add on the right. So now you'll have sine A cos B plus sine A cos B, which will just be 2 sine A cos B. If you look at it, 2 sine A cos B. And now this plus this, these are just additive inverse. They will just cancel out because it will just basically be 0 for this one. So this means that sine A plus B plus sine A minus B, this will be the same as 2 sine A cos B. But now if you look at this integral here, we don't have 2 there. So you can just say this is the same as the integral of half multiplied by 2, because half times 2 is basically 1. So you'll have half times 2 multiplied by sine 3x cos 7x dx. Now I just rewrote that. Now notice that you can take the half outside. Notice that you can take the half outside. Then you'll have half. This half, we can take it outside. And now 2 sine 3x cos 7x, you can take this one as A and you can take this one as B. So now we have this formula here, 2 sine A cos B. This can be rewritten as sine A plus B plus sine A minus B. So this will just be the same as sine, where A is 3x plus 7x plus sine 3x minus 7x. Remember, I'm just using this formula here, which we just proven, dx. Now you can further simplify, then you'll have half the integral of 3 plus 7, that's 10, so you'll have sine 10x plus sine 3 minus 7, that's going to be minus 4, so you'll have minus 4x dx. Now, what's have the integral of sine 10x? Now, sine negative angle will be the same. Remember, like the formula that states that. Let me just write it here. Sine. Let me just wait for my camera to respond. Okay. So you have sine minus theta. This will be the same as negative sine theta, and cosine negative theta. This will be the same as cosine theta. And then you have tangent of negative theta. This will be the same as minus tan theta. So you need to memorize this. Now I'm interested in sine. Then it's going to be negative sine 4x. So that's a little skill you need to like develop. Then we have half outside. What's the integral of sine 10x? It's going to be negative cos 10x divided by 10. And what's the integral of negative sine 4x? That's going to be positive cos 4x divided by 4. Then you add a constant outside. So that's how you can like be able to like integrate this one. So it's just to like memorize these two formulae. Just add the two of them, and then you'll get this, and then you'll get this, and correspond that with the integral that you'll be provided. So similarly, you can like work on the integral of sine 6x cosine 12x, or let me just say 14x. Similarly, you can work on the integral of sine 6x cosine 14x. Just try to like work on that. So I said like you multiply with 2 and you take the half outside, so you'll have 2 sine 6x cosine 14x dx. And then from then you just use the formula that I gave you, and then this will be the same as sine 6x plus 14x plus sine 6x minus 14x dx. So this can be rewritten as half the integral of sine 20x plus sine of 6 minus 14, that's minus 8, minus 8x dx. And then from then you can just say this is half the integral of sine 20x minus, since it's a negative angle, minus sine 8x dx. Then from then you can just say this is half outside, and you can integrate. This one will be minus cos 20x over 20, and this will just be plus cos 8x over 8. Then you add a constant on the outside. So that's how you can solve this one. But now sometimes you don't have sine cos. Sometimes they can give you sine. Let's work on that. Let's work on where you are given sine. So let's say you are provided sine 3x sine 2x. Sine 3x sine 2x dx. Now if you know the identity for cosine, you'll have cos A plus B as the same as cos A cos B minus sine A sine B. Now if you know cosine A minus B, this will be equals to cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. Now the thing is, like with cosine, the signs swap. For positive you have a negative in between, and for negative you have a positive in between. But for sine, that's why you have to be careful. For sine here you have the signs staying exactly as they are. For sine the signs stay the same, and for cosine it's just the opposite of the sign in between. It's the opposite of the sign. You can check. So now we are looking for sine. If we are looking for sine here, okay, let me just give you the general idea here. Let me give you formula 1 where you add them. There are two formulas. There are two formulae on this one. Okay, let's add the terms on the left side. Let's add the terms on the left side, and then we can add the terms on the right side. Remember, if you add on the left, you must add on the right. Now, okay, let's proceed. Now you have cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Now I added on the left. Now that means I must also add on the right. If I add on the right, I'll have cos A cos B, cos A cos B. They'll add each other, then I'll have 2 cos A cos B. 2 cos A cos B. Now this one, when I add it with this one, they will just cancel out because this one is negative and this one is positive. So that means that I'll have cos A plus B plus cos A minus B as 2 cos A cos B. But here I'm provided sine. I want sine. Okay. So adding these terms didn't work. But if you're integrating something like cos something, then this identity was going to work. Now instead of adding, now let me subtract. Let me take 2 and subtract 1 from that. So I'll have cos A minus B minus, I take this and I subtract the upper equation. So I'll have cos A minus cos A plus B. So this is what I have. I take this one and I subtract that one. And now I must do the same from the right. So that means that I must take this one and subtract this. So this minus this is 0 because they are the same. And now I have this minus this. Now notice that it's positive minus into negative. That means that I'll have 2 sine A sine B. 2 sine A sine B. And now this is the given integral. I'm looking for sine. And here I have sine. So that means that this integral can be rewritten as, you just say you multiply by half. And then you say 2 sine. Because half times 2 is going to be 1, so I didn't really change anything. So I have 2 sine 3x sine 2x dx. Then I can take the half outside, so I'll have half the integral of 2 sine 3x sine 2x dx. So now I can use this formula with this one as A and this one as B, and then rewrite it in this way. So this means that I'll have half the integral of cos 3x minus 2x minus cos 3x plus 2x dx. So this will be half the integral of 3 minus 2, that's 1, so I just have cos x. So 3x minus 2x is just x. So I'll have cos x minus cos 5x dx. So now I can just integrate that with half outside. Don't forget the half outside, because don't forget you took the half outside. If you forget this, the option will be there for because they know it's possible to forget the half. So the integral of cos x is sine x, and the integral of cos 5x, negative cos 5x, we'll keep the negative, and then we'll say this is sine 5x over 5. Then you can add the constant outside. And now, similarly, we can work on the integral of cos 6x, cos squared 6x dx. We can work on cos squared 6x dx. Right? Yeah, we can work on cos squared 6x. Try to work on this integral. So this integral is the same as cos 6x, cos 6x dx. So now, let me just do this. So now you have cos. If you go up there, I show you the identity for cos. So now I'll just say I multiply the inside with 2 and I take the half outside. So then I'll have 2 cos 6x dx. Then I can say I have half the integral of, now what's 2 cos? It's cos the addition plus cos the subtraction in between. So I'll have cos 6x plus 6x plus cos 6x minus 6x dx. So then I'll say this is half the integral of cos 6x plus 6x, that's going to give you 12x, and then you'll have cos 0. Since 6x minus 6x is 0, then you'll have something like this. And now this means that you'll have half the integral of cos 12x plus cos 0 to what? It's 1, right? Cos 0 to 1. And then so you can see that there are multiple techniques of doing that, but you still see that you'll get to the same answer as I did. And then you have the half outside, don't forget that half, and the integral of cos 12x is just going to be sine 12x. Sine 12x divided by 12. And then the integral of 1, that's just going to be x. And then you can add a constant outside. So that's how you can be able to integrate this. Okay, try to see if you can integrate this one. Cos 2x cos 8x dx. Try to see if you can find this integral. You can pause the video and try to see if you can find that integral. So I'm gonna have half 2 cos 2x cos 8x. Then you use the identity for cosine that I showed you. And for cos, you just memorize this. For cos, you always know that it's cos addition plus cos subtraction in between. So it's cos, and in between you have addition, and then you add, and you have cos, and in between subtraction. That's how you can memorize for cos dx. So you'll have